When do you expect to finish the book? What?
I mean, now you've inspired me to just try and like hack together something approximating a draft on this last chapter and throw it together and pitch it.
Nice.
I mean, it's all there in pieces. It's just a collection of essays I've written over the last 5 years, and it's all or 8 years, and it's all there on my Medium account.
Okay.
In some form. And part of me is kind of daunted by. I mean, when I wrote out the structure for the book, actually, there's like a whole other. This is how it goes, right? Like,
Right.
and this is exactly. We're back to what I was talking about. Is like, you end up writing Kid A, and then you've got Amnesiac also,
Right.
and like it's been a question for me. Like, do I put this out as a double album, or
Yeah.
I think I really just need to cut Kid A and then put out Amnesiac and make that a whole separate thing and allow it to be sort of a continuation of this line of thinking rather than assume that I'm going to encompass all of this in one great thought. And then meanwhile, endlessly forestall the one thing that would actually legitimize me as a non-PhD carrying public pseudo-intellectual, which is to have a published book.
Right.
So, yeah, I think basically at this point, I was really trying to get it done before my first kid. Now I have two. And so I should probably just call it a game because it's all just been sitting there in the freezer for years.
Yeah, man. Yeah, go for it. Like when I think one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten is to just, in terms of painting, is to make like 100 shitty paintings, even if. Yeah, and I know obviously you.
I sure did.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say you've been writing and speaking and kind of like, what would you say, consolidating your thoughts for a long time now, and you've probably put in the equivalent of like 100 paintings or 100 drafts on something, probably more if I'm guessing right. So yeah, I mean, just get it done. And if it's sometimes at the end of a painting too, I'm like, I could go deeper and get, like we were talking about our friend getting lost in the details of the audio earlier. It might be kind of something like that where you at a certain point you have to say, good enough, next.
I think it was Oliver Stone that said that he never finished a painting. I mean, he never finished a movie. He just walked away from it.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. I feel like I really needed to hear that. And at least, I don't know, there's something about, I'm really glad that I'm talking to you today because there's something about the paintings that I've always treated a little differently. And I think it is, again, just a matter of how many paintings I've done.
Yeah.
And how like they used to be just like one a night, I would do 5 a week while I was doing, living in Boulder. And
it was almost like you were treating them like the songs you make up for your daughter now.
Right. Yeah. You just like, blip, get it out there.
Yeah.
And I felt very comfortable doing that with the guitar and, like the cyber guitar improvisations. But when it comes to the book, it's a different matter for some reason, just because it's the first one.